Good evening, and welcome back to C-Train Station. I am C-Train. This is the station. Warriors won again versus Oklahoma City Thunder, Vegas Summer League. Let's get to some quick thoughts. Mr. Moses Moody. Okay. I get it. First, the only thing I'm going to start out is with one negative on Moody. He got beat backdoor. That's fine. That happens. But that's twice now, I believe, in just a couple games that Kuminga and Moody have both been beaten backdoor. They need to just keep that defensive awareness, eyes on the ball, but on their man as well, right? Wow. He's got the touch. Moody definitely has an amazing touch. He can stroke it from three, but he also has great touch around the rim, man. You got the touch. Do, do, do. You got the power! Yeah. Anybody seen Boogie Nights? Okay. Maybe not. That's okay. Let's see. I almost want to see Moses Moody. If I were to give him a little bit of advice, I would say, I know that Warriors fans aren't going to like this, but study a little bit of Danny Green and Doug Christie. Doug Christie was amazing at taking charges, something that Moses Moody is amazing at as well. And the cool thing about Moody is that I think that he's going to put pressure on the person who he's against, essentially, both on offense and defense, which is great because the more pressure put on the opposing team, the greater chance of them to just completely fold to a number of threes by Splash Brothers and just and ball movement and whatnot. Just the way that the Warriors have been picking apart teams the last 5 or 6 years pretty consistently. Let's see, what else for Moody? Okay, how many times in the last couple videos you just review them? Have I got, you can just review them without the sound and just remember this. Remember me going like this, woo, and like this, and whoa. That, I'm telling you, Moses Moody has crazy release points. He's got crazy release points on his layups. Like, did you see the sky hook almost? That's what I was saying. So he can either pump fake it and go up, and you just never know when he's going to release the ball, and that is just super tricky. It stinks. If you play basketball, it sucks to you just have to put your hands up when you're defending Moody. But oh man, he can stroke it. He's got a great release, a quick release, good hustle. So we're there with him. Oh. Now we're on to Gary Payton II. GP2. It's like, I think that Gary Payton II, Mulder, and Damian Lee will all get roster spots. However, I know this is going to be maybe a little bit controversial. I would love for them to look at possible buyouts in the future. Of course, this is only projecting. But Goran Dragic, specifically Goran Dragic. And if you're like, oh, Christian, what are they talking about? Why would you want Goran Dragic? He's old and stuff like that. He's not that old. He is old. But he still has some left in the tank. He's crafty. He spaces the floor well. He utilizes space really well. And hey, if you don't think that he might be a good fit on the Warriors, just ask Jim Barnett, who's one of the most intelligent sort of Dubs minds. Jim Barnett loves Goran Dragic. So a guy like Goran Dragic or like Kevin Love, I think that both of those two guys on the team, and I get it. Everybody's like, their skills have degraded. Kevin Love is washed and stuff like that. They can literally the NBA is a business technically. Basketball's a sport, and the NBA is a business. Goran Dragic and Kevin Love have accumulated enough political clout, seriously, to be able to still play and get calls in this league. I know that that's really weird. That's really weird to see how Terry Cummings used to play when he was on the Warriors. Like, sort of older Terry Cummings. He got politic calls all the time. And he was able to just, through almost wit as well, he was still really good. Older David West. I think that although I get that Kevin Love isn't necessarily he's not the best defensive player, but it's not necessarily about that. It's about the IQ, the ability to use space, and the fact that he's been in the league for a long time. And honestly, the NBA is technically a business, basketball is a sport, and in the NBA, this is very important, just to let you all know. And it's a lot of the reason why like the Lakers are always, wow, it's like, hey, how did they just reload? And what's going on? And in the NBA, you can use things like politics for referees. Like, I'll give you an example, Scott Foster, Tony Brothers. The better relationship that you have with them, honestly, the better chance you have of them calling a good game for you. See Chris Paul and the Suns as an example. Okay. Let's see. So with with those three players, Peyton, Lee, and Mulder, I'd like to see them honestly eventually. What I'm saying is that a Warriors roster with Dragic and Love in place of those three players specifically will give the Warriors a better chance, not only this year but in the future. Just for like, it will allow the younger players to develop a little bit more. Like Love could take pressure off of Wiseman, and Dragic could take pressure off of Poole, for example. Okay, let's see here. What else do we have? Thunder Kuminga. Oh, everybody's falling in love with Jonathan Kuminga, right? Oh my gosh. Ooh, I think I'm in love. Oh, we love it. Okay. Some good things about Kuminga. When his shot isn't going down, he's still able to be effective. Another interesting thing is I love the fact that Kuminga doesn't have to necessarily use pace as the ultimate determinant for whether he's going to get into the paint or get a bucket or not. Jonathan Kuminga is strong enough, and people aren't able to take him off of the ball. So when he's dribbling it, they haven't been able to take it from him very much. And with that ability combined with his strength, and footwork, he can literally walk into the lane every time. We have to see him put pressure on defenses, specifically next year, regular season. With Kuminga's ability to put pressure on the rim, combined with Wiseman's ability, the Warriors really have a chance. However, I have to put this one caveat. It's going to be really tough because along with the pressure on the rim that Wiseman and specifically Kuminga can provide, Warriors fans are going to have to live with turnovers and offensive fouls, which are turnovers as well. But specifically those two things. And it might be tough for the first couple years, for sure. I predicted that it'll be tough. I don't think it's going to be a cakewalk for Kuminga in the league. But he's effective driving and dishing, which is like a godsend for his strength and ability to just sort of crash the rim. Oh my gosh, how about that dunk? How about everybody, what dunk? Which one? Right? You pick a dunk. It was good and amazing. It was thunderous. Excellent work. I am digging Jessup. He needs at least 2 more seasons overseas for sure before he can even think about coming back. I'm going to adjust my shirt real quick. I know that's out. Okay, there we go. You're right. You gotta represent. I liked the thing that I didn't like about the game with the Warriors. One of the only things was they started out a little bit sloppy on defense. They weren't getting their rotations and closing out. And gosh, when Jessup started to hit a couple of shots, they didn't go to him. Some of those players who were fringe players, McLaughlin, for example, who was playing really well. It will behoove you to find players like Jessup and get them going. Not only because Jessup is sort of one of the... He was drafted by the Warriors, and he's a prospect who they're looking at for the roster this year. But also, it will open up the floor for you. So it'll provide space for you. The one thing that I'm going to leave all the Warriors fans with is that Kuminga and Moody combined for 1 turnover. They combined for 1 turnover. If they can limit those turnovers, specifically Kuminga and Moody, the Warriors are going to be incredibly difficult to play this next year. And Kuminga and Moody are going to be very difficult to take off the floor. Wonderful game right there. If I continue to say this, I know that they're not going to do it because it's like Kuminga and Moody, they need run. I would seriously save them now. They've shown me enough. I literally ship them off to a training camp or like to go to Baja with Clay, take some boat rides with Big Clay, hang out with friggin' JTA and his awesome camps. But like they're almost done for me right now. Like there's not, for example, like there's nothing more that I think that they can prove to me, at least against Summer League talent. And that is saying a lot, and that is a very good compliment to them, but they deserve the compliment. They have worked extremely hard, as you can tell, and they are just really coming together as a team. All right, hope you have a wonderful weekend. There is a Niners game tomorrow. So if anybody's a Niners fan, like the C-Train, they play the Chiefs. But I'll have a little bit of that content as well, a lot of that content. So until next time, C-Train out.